AITA for not wanting to lend my coworker my phone because they always send inappropriate messages. I work in a small office with a tight-knit team. We all get along pretty well. But there's one coworker who I just can't seem to get on the same page with. Let's call him Joe. Joe and I started working at the company around the same time. At first, we got along pretty well. We had similar senses of humor and enjoyed chatting during our breaks. However, as time went on, I started to notice that Joe had a habit of sending inappropriate messages. It started innocently enough. He would send me a meme that I found slightly offensive. But I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. So I just ignored it. However, the messages started to become more and more inappropriate. He would send me links to articles about sex, or videos with explicit language. At first, I tried to brush it off. I didn't want to make things awkward between us. And I figured that maybe he just had a different sense of humor than I did. However, the messages continued, and they started to make me really uncomfortable. One day, Joe asked to borrow my phone. He said that his was dead, and he needed to make an urgent call. I hesitated for a moment, but then I handed him my phone. I immediately regretted it. When I got my phone back from Joe, I noticed that he had sent a message to one of our coworkers. It was a crude joke, and I could tell that our coworker was uncomfortable with it. I felt terrible. I didn't want to be associated with that kind of behavior. After that incident, I decided that I wasn't going to lend Joe my phone anymore. I didn't want to be responsible for any more inappropriate messages being sent out. However, Joe didn't take kindly to my refusal. He asked me why I wouldn't lend him my phone. And I explained that I didn't feel comfortable with the messages he had been sending me. And I didn't want to be responsible for any more inappropriate messages being sent out. Joe got defensive and accused me of being uptight and overly sensitive. I tried to explain to Joe that his messages were making me uncomfortable. But he just didn't seem to get it. He said that he was just trying to have fun and make people laugh. I told him that there were other ways to do that without being offensive. But he just rolled his eyes and walked away. Now, whenever Joe asks to borrow my phone, I make up excuses. I say that it's out of battery or that I need it for something else. However, I can tell that Joe is starting to get frustrated with me. He's been giving me the cold shoulder lately. And I'm starting to worry that our working relationship is going to suffer because of this. So, AITA for not wanting to lend my coworker my phone because they always send inappropriate messages. I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, I don't want to be responsible for any more inappropriate messages being sent out. But on the other hand, I don't want to hurt Joe's feelings or damage our working relationship. What should I do?